Hey guys, I'm Sly, and welcome to another episode of Shot Ones, where I get to meet with some of the top industry leaders. Today, it's Moonshine. Probably the most misunderstood category, I think. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves first?
Well, I'm Digger Manus. I'm an old East Tennessee hillbilly. Happen to have a little bit of a background, about, 25, 30 something years of experience in illegal liquor world. Like you said at the beginning, moonshine is probably one of the most misunderstood spirits on the planet.
Yep.
It's not poison, it's not harsh. But where do you want to start, Mark?
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Same.
All right, I'm Mark Ramsey, and I'm from East Tennessee hillbilly as well, and damn proud of it. You know, old Ridge Runner. Say whatever you want to me, I don't get offended, but Digger and I, we spent a lot of time together over the years. I guess we've been friends for 40 years and some change.
We've been friends we've been friends longer than we've both been married, and that combines all my weddings.
That's a whole...
You know, Digger's the only fella on the planet that I know has been married 3 times and still got the same in-laws.
Come to find out, I'm just somewhat opposed to change.
But, you know, we was blessed. We got to spend a lot of time with some of the old moonshine legends, and, you know, we got to know them, and they taught us a lot of things, and, you know, hopefully we taught them a couple.
And, you know, the thing about moonshine is, when you think about it, when you pick up one of these jars, back in the day, we didn't have labels on any jars. Now we've got legal products. We kind of got chastised about bringing everything out in the open. You know, this was a clandestine product that only a select few got to sample. To me, I didn't think it'd be worth a damn until everybody on the planet would get the taste of it and make a decision whether it was any good or not. So this is the only way to do it. It's too damn dangerous. The other way, I'm too pretty to go to penitentiary.
When I talk about moonshine being the most misunderstood spirit, it's because we were just joking when we were pouring it, and we were like, it's high proof and it can make you go blind and different things, right? And so it's the most misunderstood. Like, you don't mix it in cocktails, you don't drink it straight.
You know, the thing about it is, back in the days, there was probably some sickness because of it, and maybe some issues more severe than that. But it wasn't something that was done on purpose. It was, come to find out, it was from the lead that was in the solder that they used to build the stills with.
Okay.
So after this come about, newly built stills, even with lead solder, all the solder joints were put on the outside. So none of the product actually came in contact with any of the solder.
After they learned to tin lock copper and put it together like that and then beat it flat, the solder wouldn't completely permeate that seam. It would just go in enough to lock it in place.
Well, so they didn't want to kill their customers. That's
kind of counterproductive.
Yeah, you kill your damn customers, what have you accomplished?
Then it would be left for all of us to drink.
Right, exactly.
When did you start seeing a consumer base or an interest in moonshine? Or have you seen a kind of spike, or do you foresee a spike in the awareness and consumption?
Yeah, it's really trending high now. But I think people has got so enthralled in the lore of it, the history of it, its background, made illegally under the darkness, the moon, and what people don't realize, realistically, all liquor, when it's made, regardless of what it is, in its raw form, is moonshine.
It's moonshine. We were just talking about that before.
Absolutely. It's the way you go by your ingredients, the way it's aged, the way it's, processed after distillation that changes it,
Right.
So,
the illegal liquor world, I think, in a nutshell, it just sums up how this country was built. You had people that were determined to do what they were going to do and see their task through to the bitter end, no matter what the outcome be.
Yep.
Our first big rebellion in the United States was the Whiskey Rebellion.
Yep.
And I'm glad they did, because it's still around, and I enjoyed a lot of it.
I still enjoy it.
Prohibition has been described as the noble experiment that failed miserably.
Yep.
All it did was make millionaires out of gangsters. But the people in our area and a lot of other parts of the United States, not just in Appalachia, they didn't have no factories or plants to work, Yep. They did what they had to do. Everybody had a bushel of corn that they couldn't sell, but if they could turn it into a jar of liquor, ka-ching.
Yep.
And, that's what happened. And it was just basically a way of making a living.
They got to realize here we are, all right in the middle, and we're all intertwined together happily. So they shouldn't have messed with it to start with.
Kenny talked pretty.
I was just about to say, like, that is so smart.
Come
like,
to find out, thanks, Dad, that college education didn't pay off.
You guys get to choose a food. Which one you want to try?
I believe I want some of that pepperoni ribbon.
You want some of this right here?
Whatever it is, yeah.
I don't believe that's pepperoni ribbon, but
Well, it's what it is.
What's the strangest thing you guys have ever eaten?
You got to remember, we're from the hills.
I know. That's why I want to ask you guys.
I ate a possum once.
Okay. Does it taste like chicken?
I think.
Let's do the hazelnut rum.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that's the first one. Yeah, that's so good. Okay, so you said you guys wanted the candied tongue over there.
No, he said he wanted the candy.
He wanted the candied tongue.
I'm going with this. I'm going with whatever this meat is.
Looks like
Hand me over a piece of meat. Let's go for the meat.
Here, we'll do it the polite way.
Oh, look at y'all.
Aw.
Well, I can't remember which
So-
finger I used to pick my nose.
Oh, there you go. Well, I just fingered that one, so you can have that one too.
Okay, well, that was with your left hand, so I'm okay. You don't pick your nose. You get that.
Let me go ahead and get mine.
I get it. I'm great over
I'm gonna tell you, I'm
Okay.
gonna like this. I know I am.
There's only one thing coming to word about that.
What?
Damn it.
Good or bad?
Yeah, it's good.
Good, huh? Like a little sweet.
There'll
When you taste on
be
yours.
something take over that sweet here in just a minute.
I love the way mine tastes. I wish I had brought my other teeth though. Just pulling them loose, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's sweet.
I like it.
Honestly, I think that probably the rye apple would be
The rye apple?
a good pair for this.
Okay,
jerky.
let's go for it.
It's just the fact that sweet and that pepper.
Yeah.
I think that rye and the apple are going
So
to
that's
work
get
out.
unpretentious.
Yeah.
That right there's got a little hot in it. I like it. I like it a lot.
You like it?
And you know what? There's no heat. It's still
Ain't that
very.
good? It don't drink like 80, does it?
No, it doesn't drink like an 80 at all.
Oh,
Because
that's-
most people will associate 80 with heat, but it's very smooth, very mouth-warming, coating on the tongue.
Ben Digger, we try real hard. We don't make any fighting liquor anymore.
No.
Because we try to stick with loving liquor,
Yeah.
kindness liquor. You know, we want people
You
to
want that
enjoy it.
Generous liquor, where
Generous
they'll
liquor.
help their fellow man. Devil's tongue, put that
You
in
know,
there.
that's
Is
good.
it the devil's
That'll
tongue?
make you take back stuff you didn't even steal once.
So I have seen a few moonshines enter the market, leave the market, and what have you. And when we talk about trends and whether it'll ever be a trend, and do we want it to be a trend, right? Do we always want it to be kind of that private little, kind of club of, connoisseurs and drinkers and what have you, and kind of keep it true to its heritage, right? A little bit and not. Is there?
Yeah.
What do you think? Should it be a mass market? Should it stay kind of a little bit secretive? What's your take?
No, I think it's time that it come out in the open world. I mean, if you think about it, pot's legal all over the place.
Yeah.
Why not legalize moonshine? Why not give somebody a personal distillation permit where they can enjoy the fun we've had making with liquor over the years?
Well, now that being said, it was never illegal to make moonshine if you chose to pay the taxes on it. But then it wasn't cheap, so the market would not have been there.
Right.
And
I defy people all the time. They say, this is all right, but I want some of that good stuff.
Yeah.
I say, okay, well, you tell me what the difference is here and convince me, and I'll give you every bit I've got hoarded back.
Yeah.
And they cannot, because there's no difference
so
in
they
this
don't know.
than what's been made in an illegal environment or a legal environment. Actually, legal liquor is better because it's consistent, jar to jar to jar,
Right.
run to run to run, where we didn't have that capability.
No, we couldn't control our heat. We couldn't control the weather. We
The
used
amount of
whatever
ingredients.
we had. We might put
From
200
raw material perspective.
Yeah, if we had 200 pounds of sugar, we used 200 pounds of sugar. If we had 160, we used 160. We used whatever we had. And in backwoods, illegal moonshine, it don't have to taste the same every time as long as it's good.
Right.
Well,
in some brands, it's distiller's intent, right? You've got some
exactly.
brands that are out for consistency. And when you open up one bottle, it's the same. And then you have others with ambient ease, where it's funny, we were just talking about that with someone where, it's environmental and it's just a little bit different, with each bottle, each batch.
The
there's some
misconception with people with moonshine, a lot of them, they thought if it burnt you, if it burnt your goozle out, why, it was really high proof. Well, that's not the case. You can have high proof liquor and not do that.
I mean, we just did it.
Well, if the 120 proof legacy liquor was here, you could witness something that's not much shy of a biblical miracle.
What, hair growing from my chest?
Yeah, that. And it's a 120 proof drink that drinks like a 90
That drinks
proof
like
drink.
a 90.
It is.
So-
The thing about it is, we don't think it'll make hair grow on your chest. We relish in the fact that it's more
Well, that
likely
one
to keep
girl.
it wore off.
There you go.
So
There
That's
was that
even
one
better.
girl.
What led you to Moonshine?
I remember, shortly after I got out of high school, I decided I would be a male model, and then come to find out I wasn't too attractive, so I had to look elsewhere for employment.
Okay.
I kind of grew up to be what I wanted to be. I am a retired firefighter, but there was always a jar of liquor in our house. We always had it. Mom would make it up and give it to us for coals. She'd put honey, rock candy in it, lemon juice, and just get it.
Little ginger.
And before we could tolerate it, and she'd give us a spoonful to cut inflammation and make you breathe better. But I'd have loved to made around a liquor with my dad.
Yeah.
But, it didn't work out. But actually, we got into it by buying liquor and bootlegging a little liquor and selling liquor, and one thing led to another. And,
My first exposure was actually going with my daddy to pick up liquor that he would take to Nashville to lobby for laws he needed passed in the funeral industry.
We actually met in a bar.
Yeah,
in Cock
we
County.
met it. Boy, I did good, didn't I? I'm drinking way too much. Here, one more time.
One more time.
You ain't never had a damn whooping for holding your breath, have you?
Not many. We actually met over a jar of liquor. We was having a beer in a local bar, and the
I
subject.
can't remember who. I believe you said that you had a jar of liquor in the truck, homemade liquor.
Yeah, I asked you if you enjoyed a good drink of red liquor. That's what we call liquor that we'd age in a barrel just a little bit.
Okay, what'd you call it?
Aged red liquor.
Red liquor. Okay.
Red liquor.
So, and we did.
Yeah, we went outside and we pulled on that jar a time or two. Well, probably way too much, but
And the rest is history.
I guess.
we think so. I mean,
Yeah.
it's behind us.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
It's just how it played
There's-
out.
Yeah, we know where all the damn secrets is hid and the bodies are buried. So, we can't, I can't
Y'all are
trust.
stuck together now.
We're stuck
That's
together.
it. Whether you like
You
it or
know,
not,
kinda like them,
you guys are stuck
yin
together
and
now.
yang.
So are y'all's wives best friends? Like your wives, like
They're good friends.
Are they
Good
good
friends,
friends?
good
Like
friends.
share the same jokes?
They're entirely different people.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But they're good. They're good friends, and we all
Honestly,
get along.
we really don't need them to get together too much because they might go to comparing notes and they
Yeah,
might
we
find
don't
some
like that. We don't like
inconsistencies
that.
in there. and
What-
we call that crossing the streams, and you never do that.
I
Crossing the
was
waters.
48 years old when I first got married.
So you're still like it's still a new.
You're a work in progress.
Well, we dated 10 years before we got married.
I never understood why you'd want to screw up that good
Well,
relationship.
to this day, honestly, I ain't never asked my wife to marry me. Her and my mom are thicker than damn thieves. And they just told me one day, said, be here this day. You and Sally are getting married. So I kind of weighed out my options there, and I was pretty damn sure I wasn't going to do any better. I mean, she'd stuck with me 10 years, so obviously she
I'll
knew
back
what
that
she
up.
was getting. So I said, okay, fair enough. And I didn't mind.
Mine's a fart in the whirlwind. I've gone to the store to get beer and come back, and there'd be damn flights booked.
Yeah, she's like
The
a dog
next
pissing
day.
in the snow. She just hits here and there. I mean,
Really?
Hell, it's like being in the damn military. Here, you keep your AB bag packed at all times. You just grab which one you need.
I wish I could be a little more spontaneous like his wife, but I
No, you
can't.
don't. How far it's just
Yin
Don't
and
matter.
yang.
Allison, his wife, no matter where she's at, she wants to be somewhere else. So,
Yep.
But he deals with it good.
You just gotta roll with it.
All right, let's try something else. Let's get off the wives here. Give them a break.
Okay, so some have called these toenails. We've had someone call them toenails before. You ready to try a toenail?
Hell, I have.
Hey, I won't even rub my wife. I won't even rub my wife's feet because I'm scared of them.
Oh,
Of your wife's feet?
Oh yeah.
it had to be somebody else's
I
toenail.
mean, if she would shave them,
Is that a toenail?
It's a toenail, and we shaved them. Let's see, and then we get to choose a flavor. Like, what have we not done yet? We haven't tried the apple pie. Toenails are
sounds
good,
good.
huh?
Huh.
Yeah.
Not too
Tastes way
bad.
better than my toenails.
Here we go. Apple pie.
Okay, this is really good.
Yeah.
Like, you could just sip on this just.
Classic apple pies or cinnamon and red apples. Sugarlands apple pie is caramel and Granny Smith apples.
Okay.
Completely different off the chart than other apple
Yeah.
pies.
Now, keep in mind when we were doing it in the illegal days back in the late 80s, early 90s, we were just steeping cinnamon in some clear apple juice and mixing the liquor 50-50. We didn't call it apple brandy.
We didn't know what we was doing.
And then somebody else decided to use syrup you couldn't see through the cider and called it apple pie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
put some cinnamon in it.
Yes. Well, we'd steep that cinnamon, in the apple juice, but we didn't leave it in a jar.
Well, it's still. I mean, it's mouth filling.
Oh, it's good.
There's no heat whatsoever.
No, it's good.
And it's 80.
It's as fine a drink you'll ever want to. Just sip around.
You can put you a couple of shots of that in a mug of hot apple cider. That's good. So is the rye apple.
So with your brands, are you when you're looking to convert the drinker and what have you? Are you wanting to win on the cocktail menu, or are you guys focusing on cocktails and like encouraging bartenders, hey, play with the brand? Like we want to be, what y'all's play with it?
You never know, they might come up with the next big thing.
Unlike back in the day, men were mostly the moonshine drinkers.
Yeah.
Not 100%, of course, but they just drank it out of the jar. But now, women buy 65% of the liquor that's sold now, and their tastes have changed. Generations' tastes have changed, as you well know. We would have never quit making corn or rye liquor. I mean, it was just a staple we did for years. But as times change, as palates change, and you got to change with it.
Yeah, that's interesting. 65% of moonshine drinkers are women.
And probably a big percentage of them say they drank because of us. So, but I don't know. That's just a guess. And
I'm gonna try one of these things that looks like a booger.
Yeah, let's try a little.
They look like
we can try a little
pea.
booger.
It's like a pea, ain't it?
I was expecting something a little spicy, but it's like a deep fried pea.
So how do you decide the next flavor of moonshine that you guys are going to create? Are there certain things? Do y'all look at trends and insights and what the consumer is kind of forecasting what the trends are going to be, or is it more so what you guys personally like?
A lot of this stuff you see right here in our flavors, our rye apple and hazelnut especially, I mean, they just came about because of the readiness of the ingredients we needed at that time, or we just happened upon a lot of ingredients.
We, back in the day, and we still do, we don't do as much R&D as we once did, but we just try off the wall stuff at this point and throw it against the wall and see if it sticks.
Yeah.
And see what people think about it. We've made some really good things. We've made
some really bad things.
Oh, and
what's the worst one?
Was it them damn that milk
besides
liquor?
the possum infused?
Yeah, the milk liquor, I'll have to say that was the most idiotic thing that we ever took upon ourselves. I mean, yeah, you can make vodka out of whey, but you've got to have a damn tanker ship load of it to make a case.
Why would you make liquor out of milk as long as there's still corn?
Right.
And sugar. I'd rather make sugar
yeah.
liquor is to make that milk liquor.
Really?
Another thing, is any distiller from any distillery in the world will tell you that the main ingredient for any liquor is the water. You gotta have.
It's got to be quality.
You have to have good water,
Yeah.
and it's technique more over ingredients. You can take the same ingredients that me or Mark use, and our liquors will not turn out exactly the same.
All of the Sugarlands liquor, the water comes right out of the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really, really as good as it gets anyway.
Yeah.
So the water-wise. So if you got a good base, a good place to start, and take some time and do it right, and use the best ingredients you can get, then you're going to have a good product.
Yeah.
Be proud of it.
Hey, Sean, can you go in that sour box and choose us something sour?
Oh, Mark loves something sour. Sauerkraut, preferably. We like that pretty good.
Sauerkraut.
Got any pickles back there?
Oh, we got pickled chips.
Oh, pickle. Ooh, I like pickles.
And with the sour, we may want something just a little bit sweeter too. That's the fun in all this.
The
Let's
cream.
see. Or the cream. Yeah, we haven't tried the cream yet. Okay, extreme sour. Okay, so they're individually packaged. Okay, so
Black
extreme
cherry.
sour. Black cherry. Here's black cherry. We got apple.
Are we supposed to open these up? Go ahead and pop them in our mouth.
Let's go ahead and pop
I'm
them.
probably going to hate them all equally, so let's just
go in
sour
and
stuff.
let's see. And then you get to choose the flavor. So this one, okay, I got black cherry too.
Well, that's what I would choose to be black.
I got a black cherry as well.
Okay, that's really sour. Oh boy.
Looks like I hold the record. Well,
Oh, that was
It's
sour.
sour, ain't it?
That's real. The apple's bad. Like,
You reckon there's actually people that like that?
They
Obviously
actually
they
do it for
are,
fun.
or they wouldn't make such a thing with
all
it.
that liquor, I didn't need no water, but now I need a little water.
Well, I'm
oh my
gonna-
God.
I'm gonna have me a
Yeah.
little shot of rye behind my damn black cherry.
I'm gonna go a little hazelnut rum.
Ooh. Are there any moonshine icons out there?
One that Digger and myself never got to meet that I would have liked to have met was Amos Law.
Yeah.
He's our friend Henry Law's daddy. He was a
Here,
major.
Percy Flowers was another one.
He was a major moonshiner in Virginia. I mean, a major. And I would have liked to met Amos. But we had our own Amos Law versions in our area.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had Ad and Burr, Junior Valentine. I mean, I could go on and
And the
on and on.
popcorn.
Popcorn was the
That
most notorious because of his
Popcorn.
Popcorn
stubbornness.
stuff,
Okay.
I mean, that was it in a nutshell. I mean, his liquor was no better than anybody else's. And it was by no means fantastic in any way, but it was just the fact that I do what I want to do.
Popcorn.
Sutton.
Popcorn Sutton.
Popcorn by
Popcorn
God,
Sutton.
Oh yeah. He was rebellious to the end. He was due to check into the federal penitentiary in Jessup, Georgia on Friday, and he killed himself on Tuesday.
Yep.
So he was defiant right up to the
Yep.
end. He said they're not
I'll
going to
go
get
on
the
my
damn
terms.
going to get the damn pleasure of sending me to penitentiary. There's a lot of them, and they were good men. Thing about it is, most cornerstones of all the churches in our area, the cornerstone was set and built with moonshine liquor money.
I argue with people all the time, they want to bash us for what we've done. I say, look, that church you go to, there's liquor money in the walls.
Yeah.
I hate to, now I'll tell them who was in their church that paid for a lot of it.
We look at it like the moonshiners, they were breaking the law, but we didn't view them as criminals.
I don't know what these little hen egg looking,
The chocolate ones? Let's try it.
Oh yeah, that right there deserves a banana
Yeah,
pudding.
right?
oh, that's definitely banana pudding. Mazel
That
tov.
stuff right there, ain't that good?
It's really good.
Probably about 40 proof.
So it's still got a little punch, so it's not like it,
That'll ember
typical
your
liqueur.
knickers up.
Let me tell you what I have done with this one. Making homemade ice cream, vanilla, just mix up your vanilla ice cream. Like pour a quart of that, a jar of that in it. Takes you a little longer to freeze, because of the alcohol. But now you talk about some damn fine
Yeah.
ice cream, banana pudding.
It's 40 proof, but it doesn't
You
have
like
that
it?
punch.
You like it?
Oh my God, it's delicious.
There you go.
After
Yeah.
a jar
You're
of
welcome.
It
it'll
doesn't
show you.
drink like a 40. Like, in all honesty, none of them drink like a full proof and overproof.
Yeah,
like
after-
most.
after-
Yeah,
welcome.
this is dangerous.
But beauty's only skin deep, but ugly to the bone.
Yeah.
Beauty takes a lot of work, but ugly holds its own.
Now drink.
Yeah, now drink. I think I'm gonna drink a little bit of the cream on that one.
Damn, I must be taking bigger swallows than y'all are.
What's
Somebody
one
tell
thing
us.
you would tell everyone about Moonshine, about your brand? What's one thing you would want every single person to know?
Straight down the barrel. Come to Gatlinburg, Tennessee and visit with our Sugarlands family. We don't say that lightly. Mark and I say it everywhere we go. Sugarlands is a family. It's a family-owned company. And we encourage having fun to the extent of somebody bleeding or breaking a limb. But if you'll come to the Gatlinburg facility, get at one of those tasting stations, you'll find out what's been the lure of this liquor into our lives.
Well, I can echo that a little bit, but the distillery, Sugarlands family, it truly is a family-owned company. And Digger and I have been with them 8 years now. We've never had a contract. We've never written nothing down. It was a handshake deal. It was good enough for us then. It's good enough for us now.
Well,
It's
our legacy.
It's not a.
I mean, and that's the way our legacy was on a handshake. Your words, you bond.
Yeah.
They really have a good time there. It's a very patriotic place. So come on to Gatlinburg. We'll treat you so damn many different ways. You're bound to like one of them.
I promise you. But it was, and it was funny, when Mark brought that up, when we met with Ned Vickers at Sugarlands, we brought the rye apple recipe. And it was always apple rye in our world, but they didn't want to call it apple rye because of apple pie. But Mark said, that's not the big seller. Why didn't you give him a big seller? I said, let's hold back on that a little bit. I said, we don't really know these folks, and we don't know if they're trustworthy or not. And after that first bottle or jar or whatever you want to call it hit the shelves, and it started getting traction, and the second jar hit the shelves, we knew that these people here were the right kind of people.
We had to They absolutely. Now this don't taste exactly like our Woods recipe, obviously, but they didn't force us to rubber stamp something.
Yeah.
We tried it over and over again until we was happy with it, and they were happy that we were happy.
We had no clue that just because we knew that you could get the sugars converted into hazelnut to make it ferment. We had no idea that you just couldn't show up with a damn big truckload of hazelnuts and start fermenting. You had to have a federal number ID on that to be able to use it. I mean, we were lost as a ghost in the fog when it came to legal liquor production.
But they're a great company, great organization. They did for us what they said they would do, and we tried to do for them what we said we would do.
We certainly hope they can say the same about us.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Have a lot of fun, but get the job done, and everybody makes a nickel, and we move on and live a little better.
Right?
Yep.
At the end of the day, it's great meeting you guys, because when we taste brands, talk about brands, sell brands, buy brands, it's great to see the spirit, the energy, the passion behind it. You guys are doing it right. You guys are having fun.
You called it right there. I mean, at the end of the day, we enjoyed the extra money that we made making
it's just
liquor.
It's a plus.
But at the end
everything.
of the day, it was more about the fact that we love fun more than anything on the planet.
Well, we've always said, if we're here and we're not having fun, we're going somewhere else.
We're changing locations.
But now we don't have as much fun as we once did. Time's kind of regulated that. They say now that 60's the new 40. Well, that may be very well true, but 8 o'clock's the damn new midnight too.